Hi everyone, welcome to Tiflydesigns, and of course I'm still behind, so this video is sharing the 10 cards that I made using my Simon Says stamp August 2021 card kit of the month. It's called Totally Unforgettable, and I thought this stamp set was the cutest thing ever, and I loved all the cards that I created, and I hope you do too. So here we go. So I started by stamping all of the images, a bunch of them, on some regular 110 cardstock and some watercolor cardstock. And first I'm using my alcohol markers from Arteza to color the first set of images on my 110 pound cardstock, and then I'm going to use my watercolor to color the next set. So you can listen to some music while I color. I'm not gonna color all the images on screen. It would take too long, so I colored a couple of them so you guys can see, and these are the watercolor ones. And then I'm going to fussy cut out everything and then put all the cards together. For card number 1, I started by stamping this image of the flower. I'm not sure what kind of flower it is, but then I also stamped it on a piece of masking paper so I can cover that flower and stamp a couple more of the flowers in the scene. I then cut a bunch more of the image on some masking paper so I can stamp my cute little froggy in the middle. And then we're going to color our scene. So everything you want to appear at the forefront of the image of this scene, you stamp first, and then you cover with the masking paper, and then stamp the background image. So my frog is in the background behind the flowers. So we're using our watercolor pan again, and this is a very inexpensive set of watercolors that I got on Amazon, purchased on Amazon. I have a link below in the description. And I'm just creating a little pond scene. Once my scene is colored, I actually add here one of the flowers, whatever it's called, from one of the fussy cut images that I did, and glue that to the front of the pond scene. And then I'm adding, I was going to add some of these little flowers, but then I changed my mind. It was a little too much for me, so I just added a sentiment to the top right of the scene. And as you can see, I add some of the white flowers, and here's some of the white flowers on the pond at the bottom, and it looked better than the ones at the top. And that's it for card number 1. For card number 2, I cut out this circle from using my Stitch Stacks die set from MFT, and I'm creating another scene so I can add my little cute little froggies. And I'm just adding some color brown at the bottom of the circle. I also add a little blue at the top of that brown area. I didn't show that on camera, but I added some blue to create like a sky kind of look. And I'm gonna add my 2 little lovebirds right here. And if you can, if you notice, I added some little eyelashes to the one on the front, in the front, because she's the girl. And we're going to add a little bow to her hair and stuff like that by the end of the card. I'm trying to have her leaning into the boy frog, like they're just hanging out, being a little cozy with each other. So cute. Then I'm using this piece of checkered pattern paper, and I stamped a sentiment on a piece of white cardstock, which I'm going to add to my pattern paper like so. And then our circle is going to go at the top of my piece of white cardstock. Then I add a little blue crown to my boy, and add a little purple bow to the little girl, and a couple of 3 hearts at the top, and I'm adding some shimmer to them. And that's it for card number 2. I think they're so cute together, and I think this is actually one of my favorites out of the 10 cards. For card number 3, I used this very froggy piece of pattern paper, and it actually came with the piece of pattern paper at the bottom, so I just cut that area and add a thin piece of black cardstock to separate the 2 patterns. And I'm using this cute little froggy that's floating on a leaf, and it would seem that the background has a bunch of little frogs also floating, and this one is just Mr. Main Frog, and he's floating ahead of everybody. So I just love this scene. It was very simple, and I just added a sentiment that says you are riveting, and that's it for card number 3. As you can see, I just added some crystal glaze to his eyes, which I'm going to do to all my frogs on all the cards. For card number 4, I adhere these 2 pattern papers together, and I'm stamping the image of the frog I'm going to be gluing to that area, so I can have the bee's antennas, so that's what you call it, if you call it antennas, there before I adhere my image. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue and add him right over the stamped image. So my little bee already have his little antennas. And I'm adding 2 other frogs to the scene, one on each side of my main little bugger in the middle. Once we add all our little guys, I added a sentiment that says, "Hope your day is unforgettable," and I'm adding some shine to the eyes as usual, and I added a couple of the little flowers to the left, and I'm adding some dimension to my bee also at the top. And that's it for card number 4. Card number 5, this parchment paper already had the blue area in the bottom, so I just cut out a small area of that paper, and the blue area is going to be my water, and then the background is filled with flowers. And I'm going to create a scene again using one of my little froggies with some of the leaves and grass and flowers. Once I've done with my card, as you can see, I add some of the glossy accent at the bottom, and it actually looks like water. It's so cute. And added it to some of the other elements of the card and in the sentiment. And that's it for card number 5. Card number 6, again I started with a circle from one of the pattern papers and another circle from one of the pattern papers that had 2 colors to it, so I just use that as a base for my scene. And here I go, hurting my little frog. I cut his eyes off because I'm trying to add 2 googly eyes to him at the end. Then I have 2 pattern papers, 2 pieces of pattern papers again, which I glue together, and they're creating the background for my image. And as I'm putting them together, one of his eyes fell off, so we're gonna have to glue his eye back together again. I'm so sorry, Froggy. The abuse. And I just add everything to a white card base, add my sentiment, and that's it for card number 6. Card number 7, this pattern paper with a bunch of bees are going to be the background of my next scene. And I started with a piece of white piece of cardstock, stamp my sentiment on a piece of black cardstock and emboss it, and add it to the bottom of that piece of white cardstock. And at the bottom of the sentiment, I added a piece of the green pattern paper. And this is going to be the scene for my little froggy sipping on his... What is he drinking? I don't know. Why is his cup so full? I wonder what he's drinking. Whatever he's drinking, he's enjoying it. So we had to create a very cheerful scene for him. And I use a black Copic marker to go around the edges of the white piece of cardstock. So that's why you see like a black lining around it. And then we're just gonna adhere it to our very buggy pattern paper. And then add it to a white card base. And that's it for card number 7. For card number 8, we're utilizing the pattern paper again that comes with 2 different pattern papers together. And we're just going to adhere this piece of blue cardstock at the bottom to simulate our water again. Then we have a part of a circle here in yellow, and we're just gonna add it whoop, 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 to our background like so. I think we're gonna cut off a little bit of the circle like so, and then our little guy will be sitting there. We also have another white circle with the happy birthday sentiment, and we're just gonna put our scene together. Once we have our scene together, we're going to add a bunch of the little flowers from the shaker element from the kit. And that's it for card number 8. Card number 9 was very simple. I just stamped a bunch of froggies in the background and then used that pretty cute froggy on that's actually floating on that leaf. And since the front was so busy, I added my sentiment on the inside. You are totally awesome. And I added a little guy inside too. And all I did to the front was just add that little butterfly, also from this stamp set, and my little guy just going across. And that's it for card number 9. For our final card, I am making a shaker card today, and I'm using one of my shaker elements from Impression Obsession, and it's the heart shape. And first I'm going to add the elements, and these little bits and bobs came from also from the kit. It's a bag of shaker stuff, I guess. And I'm adding some of it to this piece of pattern paper before I add here my shaker card frame or shape. So I added the elements I want to use, and then I'm going to add my shape to it, and then just cut the pattern paper from around the shape. And these shapes from Impression Obsession comes with adhesive already on it, so you just stick it to your paper and you're good to go. For our background, we're using this piece of pattern paper, and we're going to just adhere our scene to it. And I love how it frames our the main image with different colors of the pattern paper going around. I just love that. And as you can see, I had here my shaker piece with my sentiment, "You are totally awesome." And then we're going to add that to a white card base. We also add a couple of the little mini flowers to the front. And that's it for our final card today. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video and love the cards. Please let me know which one is your favorite below, and see you next time. Bye.